What's going on with 318? CIG has been releasing a lot of info about this upcoming patch, and I gotta say, there's something going on here. Something doesn't add up. Now, you guys don't know, there was a roadmap roundup released yesterday on September 14th detailing about their plans for 318. Now, to summarize, they plan on releasing 318 into Evocati this month. For those who don't know what Evocati is, it's like test servers, but only for a super exclusive select number of players. That means it'll be in Evocati either next week or the week after, and if it's the week after, it'll probably be out on September 30th, because it's the last day of the month, and it's a Friday. Now here's the thing, I don't know how to say this, but they're contradicting themselves and saying shit that don't make sense. Like, this timeline makes no sense. If they need 2 to 3 months to test this in the PTU, and I'm pretty sure they're going to take closer to 3 months, 318 will come out either in late November to mid-December, and that's assuming it comes out in Evocati next week. With 2 to 3 months of testing, patch 318 won't come out in the first half of November. That's less than 2 months, and they're already removing features for 318. Now, granted, it's always a bummer when content is removed, but these features don't seem that big of a deal, and they've never talked about it. Now here's the thing, if they do want to meet their goals of releasing it in November, they're gonna have to remove more features. As to what features they might remove, well, let's take a look at the roadmap. If we look at Persistent Entity Streaming, or PES, it will definitely be in 318. It's integral to the whole patch. I think Cargo Refactor will also be in 318, but I'm a little less certain on that. They have talked about it, but they haven't showed what it looks like. But Jared did mention that it will be shown next week, or at least this month. Sandbox Prison Activities, I think that's gonna get cut, and if they have to prioritize, it won't be for a feature that a small minority of players are going to use. Security Post Korea? Again, that might get cut. They mentioned they wanted a lot of PvP there, along with lots of drugs and contraband, but something like that can put a lot of stress on PES. New missions in Orson? They have the framework for it. They have the maps from Siege of Orson, so this could be in 318, or at least the 0.1 iteration. But then again, we haven't seen any footage on these new missions, so I think it's likely to get cut. Salvage is definitely gonna be in 318, at worst 318.1. Drake Vulture looks mostly complete at this point, judging by this week's Inside Star Citizen episode, so I don't see it not coming in 318, depending on Salvage. The Drake Corsair they added into 318 in the roadmap yesterday, but we haven't seen much of it, and it doesn't seem as complete as the Vulture. So this might come out in 318.1 instead. The Daymar crash site I believe will likely be in 318. Maybe 318.1 at worst. They have shown gameplay of it in last week's Inside Star Citizen. The new rivers and caves I believe will be in 318 because they're just decoration, and they've said there won't be any gameplay or missions in them yet. The Great Cat Racetrack, they have shown it, so I don't see it being released past 318.1, but who knows? Now interestingly, the whole sea is now added back to 318. If you guys remember, it was removed back in early February for more polish, but they did show it later that month. One of the reasons was the Cargo Refactor, because there was no reason to make a big cargo ship without it. Earlier this month, CIG did share some screenshots of the Hull Sea. So if Cargo Refactor is implemented in 318, along with the other stuff, it might come out in 319, maybe 320? Is there even a 320? According to the roadmap, the whole sea will be worked on until mid-December. Speaking of 319, I don't believe it's coming out this year. Even though they've said it will be back in May, the only way 319 comes out this year is if it's a nothing update like 316. Or maybe it comes with some content cut from 318. Now I'm going to go into full speculation mode here. Even though I was speculating earlier, best case scenario, CIG meets their deadlines, 318 is on live servers ahead of IAE with all the content as is shown on the roadmap, and 319 comes out a month later. To me, I don't see that happening. I believe 318 will come out this year, but not with all of the content on the roadmap. If I had to guess, probably late November or early December, and then 318.1 will be the last patch of 2022. Worst case scenario would be that to meet deadlines, they move salvaging to 318.1 so they can release 318 in November, and then spend a couple weeks bug fixing and polishing salvage for release in 318.1, and this is mainly based on the fact that no one has ever done PES before. To open up this technology to hundreds, even thousands of players is gonna create a lot of issues, and they've said they want to open up the PTU as soon as possible, so we're going to be able to experience this soon. But I feel like it's gonna create a lot of unexpected roadblocks and problems. But who knows? All of this is speculation after all, and I could be totally wrong. And I love to be wrong, because that means more content for us sooner. Let me know in the comments what you think of all this. Maybe you disagree and think CIG will finally meet their deadlines this time. Or maybe you think 318 will be delayed until March. God, I hope not. But when 318 does come out, you'll want to get a head start. Perhaps in acquiring a reclaimer so you can start ship salvaging. Or anything else that can help you earn money faster. In which case, you should watch this video right here.